This week's Whiskey and Things podcast has been brought to you by the number 84 and the colour orange.
And we try a core component of the Johnnie Walker blends as we ask the question, Cardhu or Cardhon't, when we try the Cardhu Gold Reserve single malt Scotch whisky.
You can find some podcast companions in the form of our social media accounts with photos and video clips from the show and all kinds of stuff over at Whiskey and Things Podcast on Instagram and at Whiskey and Things on Facebook and Twitter.
And don't forget to share our podcast with your whiskey friends as well. Put it in your Facebook groups and all those kind of things. It really helps us out. Thank you.
You're listening to Whiskey and Things with Nick Kent and Dave Giles.
Welcome to episode 84. I am Dave Giles.
And I'm Nick Kent of Kent. How are you? Dave Giles of Essex.
Yes. Not too bad. Not too bad. Voice is a little bit delicate. And I think I know just the trick.
Lemsip. That's a weird sounding lemsip.
That was a bit of a squeaker, wasn't it?
That was a squeaker. Oh, yeah, that's got some ear-piercing frequencies going on in that.
It's a shame because it's a good sturdy cork.
Oh,
that's a bit of a pop there. Third time lucky.
Oof. Hey, how are you? How are you? So your voice is back. Last time I saw you, it was last Saturday. And it
last Monday. It was a Monday gig.
Oh, it was a Monday gig.
That's what's confusing you. Yeah, this last week has been crazy because we did a gig on a Monday. Who has
a wedding on a Monday?
Exactly. Anyway, voice came back, then did more gigs, and now feeling delicate again. So pouring myself some of this week's whiskey.
Oh, we're going straight in. It's not even a little hello and then a sting and then straight in. We're going straight in.
Well, it just seemed to roll. How are you, Nicholas?
I'm fine, thank you.
Lovely yellow t-shirt, which I think it suits you really well.
I've actually tried to wear orange. I've got my orange lights out. And I might actually change the colour of my t-shirt in post. See how orange I can get it. Because orange seems to be the in thing, as we'll talk about later, or in a minute, actually. But there we go. But yeah, Nick, give me a sting.
Nick, give me a stick. Okay, so I've already popped it and poured it, but this week's whiskey. Oh, good low range. Good to know for my gear list.
Sounded really good, yeah.
Yeah, good to know.
Cardhu Gold Reserve.
Who?
Single malt Scotch whisky.
Cardhu?
Cardhon't. Or
yes.
Well, that's the question we'll answer today. Cardhu or Cardhon't?
That is the question. Carby or not Carby? No, that doesn't work.
Anyway, one, I'll leave it in.
I received this bottle a few years back from someone, I don't know who, I can't remember. It may have been my dad, it may have been someone at a gig. It's been in my collection for a while and I've been waiting to have it for the podcast. I don't know why I do this, right?
I don't know why you do it. I don't do it.
But I always never have any whiskey and I don't open it or try it until we've done it.
Yeah, no, that's weird to me. I like to open things and get a feel for it. Well, I wait to open stuff till I've got the photography done. For the socials, Dave, that's when I save the whiskey. But mainly I would just open it and try it.
Fair enough.
Live it a bit. Anyway, we'll talk
more about what it is in a bit.
Whether you should Cardhu
or Cardhon't. Anyway, Nick, I've got a rant.
Oh, you got a rant, have you?
Yeah. Because I was in an orange flavoured supermarket.
Sainsbury's.
Yeah, that's the one.
And other supermarkets are available.
I know the colour seemed appropriate, but I was in this orange flavoured supermarket, and they were pushing Hague Mediterranean orange.
Yeah, I've seen these around. There's a bit of an orange obsession going on in whiskey at the moment.
Yeah, but like what? My rant. When I saw this, I was like, oh, f*** off. Pop that out.
Right.
Like, because it might be because I really don't like Hague.
Really? You never mentioned it?
Yeah, I know, right? But come on. Like, it seems, Christmas is coming. Everyone loves orange at Christmas. Chocolate orange and orange with cloves in on the Christmas tree and all that kind of stuff. And chocolate orange is everywhere. You can get a chocolate orange twirl at the moment. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the orange flavour stuff. Yeah.
Orange flavouring everywhere. And I was like, really? Whiskey? Orange flavoured whiskey?
Might be nice, Dave. Might be nice. It's not technically a whiskey. It's 35% ABV, which makes it a spirit drink.
And doesn't that just sum everything up nicely? I don't even feel I need to say any more.
Okay.
I'm sure it's lovely. But
well, it has its uses. I'm sure it's a cocktail drink, but whether or not you should just use normal Hague and then squeeze a bit of orange in it, I don't know. I haven't tried that one. I tell you the one I have tried, the Jameson Orange.
Is that also a spirit drink?
It's also a spirit drink, 35%.
And that's brand new as well. So they're doing it as well.
That's brand new as well.
Shame on you.
Two different companies as well. Hague is Diageo, Jameson is not. Irish Distillers Group. Not. Irish Distillers Group, I think it is. Middleton. Yeah, of course. But yeah, that's a 35er. And I have tried that. Danny Gruff brought some around to my house the other day because he was excited to try it. He bought it. He's a big Jameson fan, so he bought it and brought it round. And we opened it, and it smelled like orangeade. Couldn't actually smell, and we tried it neat, and we couldn't actually taste the Jameson in it. It's very orangey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, disappointing, just like...
Well, yeah, I just didn't see the point of it. It didn't blow me away as I'm not going to buy a bottle, that's for sure. And as well, it's made for cocktails, and we made it with we had it neat first, then we had it with lemonade, which they suggest on the bottle or on the website or wherever we saw that. So we tried it with the lemonade, and then we ended up actually topping it up with original Jameson just so we could actually taste some Jameson in there. So, it just became a bit of like a really strong mixer, which then we topped up with whiskey anyway.
It still wants to have some original flavour, doesn't it?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Jack Daniel's honey still does have a little bit of Jack Daniel's-ness to it.
But that's not a whiskey, that's a liqueur. It's a honey liqueur. That's completely different.
But it's called Jack Daniel's honey. That's my point. It's a similar thing, right? It's a spirit drink, right?
Yeah.
But it still has an element of Jack Daniel's to it.
Is that actually a spirit drink? What's the proof on that?
35 or 30.
Oh, yeah. It is. Yeah, it's 35. I didn't know that.
You're welcome.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, so not sure. I mean, if the Jameson one no good, the Hague one's going to be just.
I'll tell you what. Next time we're out together, we'll try some in the bar, so we don't have to buy a whole bottle.
Do you reckon it will be at a bar though?
Yes, I think it will. It will be behind a bar somewhere. It's made for that environment.
Yeah.
People have seen David Beckham on the telly, and they're like, "Oh, I'll have some of that."
The thing is, right? If you're
people will be making cocktails with it, they'll be asked to make cocktails with it to promote it and stuff.
Yeah. So there is an orange thing that's coming out though, which I am interested about, right? And that's because this is kind of interesting. And I've ordered a bottle, and it's the second Bimber Club. I know you've ordered a bottle too.
I have. It's mad that came out the day or 2 days after we talked about it with Mark Littler on last week's show. It literally was announced like the next day, after we were talking about getting it to start our vertical, Dave. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once that arrives,
Absolutely.
we've started a vertical
collection. Absolutely.
Don't worry about it.
But it's interesting because it's this first fill American oak ex-bourbon barrels, but then it's expertly married and finished in Vino de Naranja cask, which is Orange wine from Spain, which is macerating white wine with orange peels.
That sounds interesting. I'd like to try that on its own.
Yeah, just the wine. See, that does sound interesting.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. What citrus notes are going to come out? Yeah,
so actually also looking forward to this whiskey as well, because it's obviously not orange flavoured, but it's orange in there somewhere.
Influenced. Yeah. There'll be something in there.
So
what stayed in the wood?
Zestiness, exactly.
Yeah, what zestiness has stayed in the wood? And of course, it has an orange label and an orange tube, which again, it goes with the old orange vibe of winter.
This is orange everywhere, isn't there? Yeah. What else has come out that's orange, Nick? It's orange everywhere, isn't there?
There is orange everywhere. I'll talk about this one first. We get off the whiskey. We just talk about Billy Abbott's new book.
Oh yeah, I actually want to get this.
The Philosophy of Whisky is out. He talks about this in episode 65 back in June, if you want to go actually hear about it. And it's got an orange cover.
Yeah, it looks lovely as well. It looks like a really nice book. And really happy for Billy that he's got it done, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. It's £10 if anyone wants to get it and get it online.
What great value.
I'll be putting a couple of links up. You can get it cheaper from the guy who went to space, but if you want to go get it from somewhere else, go there, I'd say. But there we go. It's published by the British Library. You could probably just go to the British Library if you're in London, if you're passing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Pick it up from the source. Why not?
Just so you know, it is also on sale on the Whiskey Exchange.
I looked earlier, I couldn't find it.
Oh, it says not available. This product is currently out of stock.
Oh, well.
That would be why. Nick, also, orange just feels like it's the packaging colour of the, I don't know, what words am I looking for here, Nick?
Season,
yeah. I mean, I suppose it does have an autumnal feel.
Is it a pumpkin thing? Pumpkin?
Oh.
Is it an October, November pumpkin vibe? I don't know.
I mean, I'm surprised orange hasn't been used on more whiskey branding because whiskey is a kind of orangey colour, isn't it? So
I don't know. Maybe they'll try and get away from that. I don't know.
Maybe.
I remember trying to use orange as a colour for all our logos and stuff, and it just didn't look right.
Interesting.
At the beginning.
I do remember now. Yeah.
It didn't look right. It didn't look right, did it?
Didn't look right.
So we went with black. None more black, everyone. Really standing out with that bright black.
Right.
Yes.
Black.
And Cotswolds as well. They brought out their new bourbon cask release last week.
Oh, yeah.
That's got an orange label and kind of like a brownie box, but with that orange label again. So I'm saying it's more like an orange. But yeah, that came out last week.
Is that one we've tried?
That is one we've tried. And I think we're going to be airing the episode where we try it next week, I think, because the two whiskies, this one's come out now, but the other whiskey we tried, which we weren't allowed to talk about, and we're technically not allowed to talk about now, but that comes out on the 1st. So the one which airs on the 3rd, which is next week, I think we're going to be able to put that one out.
Nice.
Yeah. We won't talk much about it now, but it was tasty, that one, and the other secret one.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed everything I drank there. So, which was a lot.
So it was first fill ex-bourbon casks. So,
But orange everywhere. Have we missed out? We must have missed something. Hey, listeners, if we've missed something orange, because it seems to be everywhere, please let us know what we've missed. Or if you've had an orange whiskey kind of drink, let us know. Let us know what you think about it. I mean, I suppose the thing is, this is what's confusing me, Nick, is that whiskey is essentially, you think about an old-fashioned. An old-fashioned is one of my favourite cocktails, and it's got a bit of orange zest sprinkled in kind of thing. So they are linked anyway. Like orange and whiskey do go together well, clearly. That's not anything new. So I don't know. I don't know why. I'm not sure if it's just because it was Haig that's made me feel so negatively towards anything that's called whiskey orange.
Were they the first to do it?
I don't know. I can't imagine. No, I'm sure I saw Jameson posting about it well before I saw that bottle.
Yeah. It seems like such a summery thing though, doesn't it? Was it around in the summer?
No,
it wasn't.
No, so I think it is. I think it is a winter thing.
You think?
Yeah, because like Matchmakers and Terry's Chocolate Orange, they're always pushed more in the run up to Christmas.
Oh, okay. Right.
I don't know why that is, but anyway.
Yeah, they're not like they're in season. No. I don't know. I don't understand life in general, to be honest. It's all just
Anyway, orange and whiskey, old fashions. That's where it should be. That's where it should be, in my opinion. In
my opinion, and as well, just have normal whiskey. If you're going to put lemonade in it, put lemonade in it, and just squeeze a bit of orange in there. Fantastic.
Yeah. Although I am intrigued by what Bimber are doing. But
but that's something different altogether. That's a proper whiskey. Yeah, it's going to be like 50-odd%, that one.
Yeah.
Not a 35% spirit drink. Imagine if Bimber bought out a spirit drink.
But isn't there an orange liqueur?
Dave's Googling.
There's loads, isn't there? I'm sure there's loads of like orange triple sec, Cointreau. There's loads of orange-based liqueur. Cointreau is like a really famous one, and that's used in loads of whiskey cocktails as well.
I think I've got an orange gin under here. Yeah, but that's still 41%. I don't know how that's made.
Yeah, a whiskey sidecar is a cocktail with Cointreau and whiskey. So
there we go. I'll just drop this at the end. The thing that I think annoys me is the fact that they're the same price as the original bottles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nah. They're gimmicky.
Hague Original, $24.99, and the Mediterranean, which is 5% ABV less, is still $24.99.
But it's flavoured orange, Nick.
And the same with the Jameson, $22.50 for both of them.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, just buy the Jameson and buy an orange. just do that. Pour some lemonade in it, squeeze an orange in it, and it's fresh. It's not orange flavour. They say natural orange flavour as well on both of them, which can be anything, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, you know what? I create my own pop. Fuck it. Just buy the original Jameson, fuck off the orange versions, and just make your own.
But don't bother with Hague.
Or do, if that's your kind of thing. But yeah. Just buy the normal Hague. Anyway.
Or don't.
Right.
Anyway, Nick, give me a sting.
Pow.
Whiskey?
Well, what do you think of this Cardhu?
What do we think of this Cardhu? Are you going to tell me a bit about it first?
I'll tell you all about it, mate. I'll tell you all about it. This is one of the originals. You might not have seen it much around because it's mainly popular in Spain and France and stuff, apparently. But this Cardhu is one of the main components of Johnnie Walker blends. Oh. And Cardhu Distillery is known as the home of Johnnie Walker.
Oh.
Or the Speyside home of Johnnie Walker. Anyway, so I thought it would be cool for you to try because we know how much you love the Johnnie Walker brand. So I thought I'd introduce you to another aspect of them, Dave.
Interesting.
Yes.
What's special about it then? As a single malt? Anything?
I couldn't find much on the actual whiskey itself, apart from that it's in toasted casks. Here we go. The only thing I could find was actually like on the Whiskey Exchange. Cardhu is known for being an easy drinking and sweeter style of whiskey. Gold Reserve has been aged in toasted oak casks, which has led to notes of toffee apples. But then, again, I couldn't find when they were toasted. Are they retoasted? Because they're all going to be toasted anyway if it's ex-bourbon, which I'm presuming they are. But yeah, there's not much on it. My main thing is it's got quite a cool history. I don't know how much you love history.
Here we go. Nick Kent's History Hour.
It's cool though. And now you're going to love this. Cardhu was originally spelt Cardhu, Dave.
As in car, do.
Well, the spelling of this whiskey is Cardhu, everyone. But it was originally spelt Cardou, which is...
Cardhu.
Cardhu, which is what the actual town is called. Where it's from, and they renamed it later on, which I'll get to. But the success of this distillery, actually, you can owe it to two women, Helen and Elizabeth Cummings. Helen was the wife of John Cumming, and they ran a farm in Cardhu, near Archestown, Moray, Scotland, in the late 18th and early 19th century. Elizabeth was John's mother, so I'm guessing they lived with her on this farm. If you look at the bottle, Dave, it says it's established 1824, I believe.
It does, yeah.
Dave's got the bottle this week, everyone. But they were distilling illegally long before that. And apparently it's known that in 1816, John, the husband, was convicted for distilling without official licenses 3 times. And he was also known as a bit of a smuggler before that. They couldn't afford the licenses, apparently. So, I'm sure they would have loved to. But Helen, the wife, did most of the distilling, apparently, and would make whiskey for local farmers, selling it to passers-by through her kitchen window.
Wow. Yeah. Which would explain... Right, so I'm going to go back to the bottle, right?
Absolutely.
So,
yes, have a look at that.
There's very little information on the bottle. Yeah. A lovely wooden cork. It's a
wooden stopper, right? So you've got a cork and then a big chunky wooden top.
Wooden cork. Yeah. Wooden stopper. It's kind of a unique bottle shape compared to anything else we've had.
Square and fat.
But with these kind of curved bits at the side. But very little information. But what it does have around the top, the neck of it, it's wearing a scarf that says, the Cummings of Cardhu, distillers of distinction and it has H. Cummings signature, which I'm guessing is Helen Cummings, distilled and bottled in Scotland. And then there's a little label on the front that says Cardhu Distillery with an image of it, and a label that just has single malt Scotch whisky, cask selection, 1824, 40%. And then it says around the edge of that label, the Cummings of Cardhu were known for their hospitable nature and generous spirit.
Yes, apparently the mum used to like help people who were in conflict and stuff. If there was people having arguments around, she'd be the one to stick her nose in and sort it out, apparently.
But that's literally all it is. On the back, they've just got the medical stuff and the please recycle and the customs stuff.
Is there a picture on the label, Dave?
There's a tiny little one, as I said, at the top of like a kind of bit of the distillery. Not
Is there
a picture,
nothing on the
bit of art.
on the actual label?
Yeah, there's a tiny woman with a flag.
Ah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. That's Helen.
That's Helen.
That's Helen, and I'll tell you what she's doing. This is from scotchwhisky.com, this little section I've got. In those days, the Knockandoo area was littered with illicit stills. When the excise men arrived in Cardhu, or arrived at the farm, they would often be billeted there while conducting their local investigations. Helen Cumming would cook them a meal and, while they ate, slip out the back door and raise a red flag to warn neighbours of their arrival. So yeah, that's the logo. That's her holding up the red flag, warning all the other distilleries around that the excise man was in town. There's another bit here from a book called Cardhu, The World of Malt Whisky by Brian Spiller. It said, on one occasion, when brewing, she was warned that they, the excise men, were approaching, and there was just enough time to hide the distilling apparatus, to substitute the materials of bread making, and smear her arms and hands with flour. When the knock came to the door, she opened it with a welcoming smile and the words, this is Scottish, so sorry, "Come awa, Ben, I'm just baking. Come on in, I'm just baking. I'm not doing anything illegal in here." So there you go. That's what she was kind of known for. Going back, have you ever heard the word billeted before?
It means posted, doesn't it? So it's like when someone you can get billeted somewhere, as in if you're on. I'm trying to think of an example. If you're part of a team and you're sent to another part of the world, you'll get billeted to different accommodations.
Okay, yeah, because my dad used to use it all the time. Let's go back to the billet.
He's a military, isn't he?
He was in the Navy.
Yeah, that would be.
Let's go back to the billet. Let's go to the billet. Yeah, well, I actually looked it up. Yeah, because but it's a specific thing I didn't know about. I looked it up on the dictionary. A place, especially a civilian's house, where soldiers were lodged temporarily. The sergeant gave them leave to rest while officers went in search of billets. Yeah, so it's a place where it's like digs or like basically people's houses. Digs. But my dad will always be like going back to the billet. A friend of my parents used to run a pub called the Crooked Billet, which I never knew what it was. It was just the Crooked Billet. But now I know what the billet is. So there we go. If you're listening, Dad, I now know what the hell you were talking about. I'm not sure if he listens. Hi, Dad.
Hello, Dad.
Yes.
Hello, Daddy.
But there we go. But obviously it says on there, established 1824. That, obviously they were doing it a long time before that. But in 1824, the Cummings could afford to buy their distilling licence after the Excise Act of 1823 had reduced their duties. They bought new stills, and in the beginning they were helped selling and distributing their whisky by their friend George Smith, who later founded Glenlivet. We talked about him before.
We have done.
Him before. He's on a box up there somewhere.
Cool.
Seeing the demands of whisky grow, Elizabeth Cummings, the mum, John's mum, bought new ground not far away from the previous farm and built a new Cardhu distillery, and they could produce 3 times as much whiskey than the old one. And then here's the big one. In 1893, Elizabeth sold Cardhu to John Walker and Sons for £20,000 and £500, or £20,000 and £500, and ensured that her family actually had shares in Walker's company, which is very smart. She died a year later, so she didn't get a chance to see the success that her wise decision meant for the distillery. And it meant it could also survive through tough times, because like the whiskey market crash of 1898, which I won't go into now because it's boring. Yes. There's another bit from Brian Spiller's book here about her.
Here we go.
And this is actually a quote from a local journalist, at the time, so 18 odd. There's only 100 years in it, 18 odd.
Yeah.
She had herself, by her wise and far-seeing management of her affairs, put the business in a position that had secured its success. Her own hand was in everything. Nothing better could have been made of it, even by a man who was constantly before the world, Dave. Even by a man.
Wow.
Think about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
You zoned out ages ago.
I did zone out ages ago.
Anyway, from between 1899 and 1960, it got bigger. There was like 2 phases of making it bigger. It got sold to the Distillers Group, who later were named Diageo, and they just strived, basically. It was in 1965 that the word Cardhu became the trademark brand, and they were able to sell whiskey as a single malt. And it was in 1981 that the name of the distillery was also changed from Cardhu to Cardhu. No, that's not how it's actually pronounced, but, for listeners' benefit. And it was actually, Cardhu is the Scots Gaelic word, meaning black rock. C-A-R-N.
D-U-B-H by any chance?
It was, yeah. That's the only bit of information I've given, Dave. So if you could help me with a pronunciation.
No, have you given me that bit? I haven't. Yeah. Oh, it's on the next page. Just because I knew dub was black.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Because Dublin is also Gaelic, and the Gaelic spelling of Dublin is D-U-B-H. Dublin translates to Blackpool.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that. I've heard that before. Yeah.
Sorry, bit convoluted there, but there it is.
No, it was anyway, less convoluted than my reading there.
If you're still here after all that wonderful history.
I cut that down. I've cut a lot out.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people like the history. But anyway, yeah, it's down to 2 ladies why this distillery is around and why Johnnie Walker maybe tastes like it is.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
The original one or the second one that they built?
The original was a farm. They have a visitor centre and all kinds of stuff. So we should really go find out. I'm not sure about the original one. I'm sure the second one is they've just made it bigger and bigger, I would have thought. But yeah, I don't know. Something to find out.
Absolutely.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'd rather go. I'd rather go and do it in real life. Then I might remember some of what you've just said.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was longer than I wanted it to be.
I'm pretty sure we're going to be drinking a whiskey, or we're supposed to be talking about a whiskey. I can't remember what's gone on in my life right now.
Tastes like a Speyside. Right, sting me.
You're listening to the Whiskey and Things podcast.
Yeah, so on the nose,
I forgot all about that. Yeah,
smells like whiskey. There is a sweetness to it, bit of cake mixture in there, dried fruits, sultanas, raisins, that kind of stuff. Everything you would really expect from a Highland / Speyside whiskey, really, I think.
Yeah, it's weird that I can actually pick out some orange in it though this week. That's not me.
Shut up! It's because you got oranges on the brain.
Nah, it is on the nose for sure. There's this zestiness to the top end, to the highlights.
Right. There is a zestiness to it. Yeah, it's really pleasant. I'd like that's actually a very pleasant smell to drink. The first sip, which I had about 7 hours ago now, feels that long ago. The first sip I felt was really smoky.
Okay,
but then every sip since then, I've hardly picked out the smoke at all. And I'm definitely getting that appley orchard vibe and a sweetness as well. So I think that toffee apple vibe, I've not really had many toffee apples, so I don't really have a reference to that. But I can see where that's coming from for sure, because I'm definitely getting orchard fruits, like summer fruit squash. Getting some of that.
Yeah, I'm not getting that. No, for me, it's a Christmas market.
Okay, fair enough.
Whatever the sights, sounds and smells. It's very comforting.
It's a really nice drop.
It is very easy to drink.
Yeah, which is what they said. Reminds me a little bit of Dalwhinnie.
Right, okay. Yeah, well, they might be using the same barley, might be using and they're both, I think they're quite high altitude as well. I think this is quite high altitude because they were they're able to hide from people back in the day.
Yeah, I think if anyone is new to whiskey and was having this, you just got to get past that first sip, which for me was really smoky.
Are you getting a Johnnie Walker vibe?
I am a little bit, but nice.
I don't know whether. Yeah. Again, I couldn't find anything else about it, so I didn't know whether. I don't think it is peated, or whether it is a smoked. How they have dried the barley.
Well, that would be. It's toasted. Did you say it was toasted something or other?
Toasted oak cask. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be a little bit of the smoke in that, wouldn't it?
I don't know if that. No, I don't think that's where it comes from. I think the toasted taste doesn't come from the cask primarily. I've read that somewhere. It's more the sweetness and stuff comes from that, because when you toast it again, the sugars get released.
Okay, fair enough. I'm talking rubbish, aren't I? Don't know what
I think I'm talking rubbish. It makes you think it makes complete sense, but I've read somewhere, I've been saying it as well, but I've read somewhere that, or heard somewhere that it's not that. It's the caramelization of those sugars in the wood when it's toasted again. That's the flavour that comes out. So the actual smokiness will be coming from the spirit itself.
Do you know what? When I've been looking at this bottle on my shelf for a while now and thinking, I'm not looking forward to this one. I don't know why.
It looks boring. That's why.
It looks boring. Yeah, it does. But and while this isn't blowing me away by any stretch, like, I'm never going to turn around to you and go, oh, that was one of my favourite drops. It's really nice. It's very pleasant.
Yeah, it is pleasant.
If I saw it in a bar and it was only a couple of options in a bar, I would probably pick it.
To be honest, I wouldn't, just because of the bottle. I'm not a fan of the bottle, to be honest. And I don't know. I know you shouldn't judge stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they could do with a rebranding, or just give more information as well. Maybe there's nothing interesting to say about it though, Nick. Maybe all that history is really boring, so that's why they don't put it on the label.
But I think I made it more boring than it is. Everyone loves talking about excise men.
Yeah, I love a tax man, me.
Well, yeah, I was trying to make it exciting. If it was a movie, get Michael Bay to make it. And Helen Cumming would jump out the back window head first with the red flag on fire, to warn the distillers.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Les Mis may actually be a version of the story of Cardhu. Yes,
Cardhu the musical.
Yeah, Le Miserable.
So is it a Cardhu or a Cardon't? How much is it? Do you want to know?
I think that will depend on whether I think it's worth it or not. Yeah. I'm hoping it's not more than 25 quid.
It's more than 25 quid.
By a lot?
Yes. If you're yeah.
Don't tell me it's over 40 quid.
It's not over 40 quid, but it's about a third more than 25 quid.
So it's 34.
It's 36. I said about. 36.95 on the Whiskey Exchange. It's more expensive in Tesco with a club card, $37.50. That doesn't usually happen. Well done, Whiskey Exchange.
Yeah, I'm not rating it for that. Sorry.
No, I don't either. There's other things out there I'd rather spend £37 on.
Yeah, agreed.
Which would look nicer on my shelf and would taste nicer and more exciting. But then I think this is mainly to go in the Johnnie Walker, and that's probably why they don't market it here. Have you ever seen this marketed ever anywhere? I haven't seen it in a bar, I don't think.
No.
Again, they're relying on the continental market, I think, and most of it goes into Johnnie Walker, which is fine. That's their business model. But yeah, I wouldn't pay you that much for it. They got a 12-year, 15-year, and 18. The 18's and they're all 40%. Even the 18-year, 80 quid.
16 year. You've written 16 here.
Yeah, I added an 18 to my notes afterwards because I found it. But yeah, and they're all 40%. The only time you can get anything over 40% is that there's a special 11-year and a special 14, 56 and 55.5.
See, I'm intrigued by them, depending on their price point.
Have I written it down for you?
No.
Okay. Well, the 11-year special 56% is 83 quid, and the 14-year special is 115.
I'd want to try before I bide.
Tried before you bidden. But yeah. There's another one, Amber Rock. Again, there's no age statement, and I couldn't find much on it. Well, I didn't really look, to be honest, because I've written so much boring history. But that's 45 quid. So I think this is the cheaper one. I'm not sure how much the 12-year is because I didn't get that far.
If someone buys you a bottle of this as a present, you're not going to be disappointed when you open it up and you're have
not
a drink.
Be disappointed. No.
Yeah, if I was buying a present for someone, I wouldn't buy this because I think there's other things out there I'd want people to have. But potentially, if it's someone who's trying to get into whiskey, yeah, I might do because it's very accessible. It's really accessible.
Yeah.
And the 40% might be something to do with that, making it slightly easier to drink, perhaps,
Maybe.
for the novice palate. Because obviously we're not novices anymore, Nick. We're experts, whiskey pros.
Mate, we're connoisseurs. We are. We've been knighted. We're connoisseurs.
Let's put more of an emphasis on con.
Yeah.
We're connoisseurs.
Connoisseurs.
But yeah, okay. I think that's an adequate description of the Cardhu single malt gold reserve. I don't know.
The show has come off as positive. We got a whiskey, we're like, meh. And we're talking about orange stuff earlier on. We're like, don't buy it. But yeah. Hey, consumer advice, Dave. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's just our opinion. It maybe someone it's their favourite whiskey, and if that is you, we'd love to hear from you and explain why. It's not that it's bad; it's good, but
it's
not
nice.
not for that price. I don't.
Not
think.
for that price, and I hate talking about bottles, but I like a pretty bottle. It just doesn't excite me.
The best part about it is the wood stopper. That's the best part about it.
That is chunky. Would that fit? I've been looking for one because my Bladnock has a massive stopper like that. You've got a Bladnock as well.
Have I got the same bottle? I think I have got that one.
Yeah.
It was in a box.
Massive stopper.
Yeah.
So,
Why is your one broken?
No, it's not. But if it ever did,
oh right,
you know, you can go for maybe a
I don't
cheaper
think
whiskey.
I don't think this is as big as that.
Oh,
Good pop.
that's good. Anyway, not talking about the Bladnock.
No, we're not.
But there we go.
Right.
So is it Cardhu, Cardon't, or Card? Maybe.
It's car if you see it on special offer.
It's Club Cardhu.
Club, yeah. Yes.
I've impressed myself with that one.
Amazing. And
Let's quit it while we're ahead.
absolutely, we're not going to get any better with that.
No, we're not.
Get rid
We're
of all the
absolutely
history and just put that one thing in there.
You're listening to Whiskey and Things.
Hey Nick, have you taken photos of our whiskey coins yet?
No, I haven't. It's on my list.
Oh my god! Oh
I know.
my god!
No, I should have done it the other day, but I was rushing because I was taking pictures of the Cotswolds Distillery bottle, the one I bought when we went there, the Sauternes cask. So I was taking pictures of that before Danny came around the other night, so I could have some with Danny. But I forgot to do the coins.
Did you have some with Danny? Doesn't look like you opened it.
Yeah.
What, the tiniest amount ever?
Well, I didn't give him much. It's expensive. We were too busy trying Jameson Orange, Dave.
Oh my god!
Well,
Oh yeah, priorities.
And we tried a Italian whiskey that night as well.
Very nice.
I'm pretty sure maybe we didn't try any.
Doesn't look like you've. Is it open?
No. Yeah.
It doesn't look like anything's come out of that bottle.
There has, because I had a bit, because when I take the pictures, I also do a little bit in the Glencairn next to it.
Of course you do.
And I usually drink that depending on time of day.
Well, anyway,
But anyway, what were we talking about?
If you go on our website at the moment, there's some photos taken by me, and they're really good, of our whiskey coin that you can get, our challenge coin, and there's not many of them left. So if someone wants version 1 of our challenge coin, then you might want to be quite quick. Either sign up to our Patreon or head over to our merch store on our website, where there's also a few T-shirts left.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else on there? And a Glencairn. There's a couple of Glencairns left.
There's a couple of Glencairns left under the bar right here.
Ready to go.
They are. They're all ready to go under
So
here.
we obviously massively would appreciate it if anyone could help us out and support the podcast in that way. It means we can do stuff, and we are planning things for next year. Things are being planned.
They are.
So revenue would be useful. It would be handy, wouldn't it, Nick?
Yeah, well, yeah. It just means we don't have to pay for stuff like websites and stuff. You know, but all the back end stuff. That's the start. It's not necessarily for whiskey.
Yeah,
it just pays for the back end stuff. You know, websites and I don't know, all kinds of other stuff. Dave sorts that out.
Yeah, exactly.
I come up with the history. I researched the exciting stuff of the show. You know, the history.
Yeah, the stuff people tuning in for. Absolutely.
Yeah, people are tuning in for that stuff.
Yeah.
There we go. But I think that's it. But I've done both my jams actually because I wasn't.
It's very drinkable.
It is very drinkable, and to be honest, I wasn't going to like bother saving it.
Fair
That's
enough.
another thing. I'm like, I'll just get it over with. You know.
Well, next time you come and visit me, the only whiskey you're going to be allowed to drink is the Cardhu Gold Reserve. Until this bottle's gone,
Yeah,
you're not
that's all
drinking
I'm
anything
getting.
else.
No,
But
I'm not
actually,
coming
I think
around
we'll
then.
drink it really quick because it is so drinkable.
Yeah.
Like, if we're having a session, I think we'd get this out. Anyway, we're talking about the whiskey game. We've done it.
We've done it.
But,
We've done it.
yeah,
We did
I
our
mean,
big gag. We did our
exactly.
big gag at the end.
Exactly. The Angels
Right.
had their share.
Yeah. I've had 2 of mine. Yeah. Anyway, cheers everyone. Thanks for coming. Whiskey and Things has been brought to you by